Hey gorgeous, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. I hope you're all doing well. So today we're back building for my save file and I have another community lot for you guys. And this is going to be just like a regular bar because I don't think I have built one before in Willow Creek. I think the bar-ish lots that I did build are actually, one of them is actually a nightclub, I believe, and the other one is a restaurant, which I guess you could easily convert into a bar if you so wish. But yeah, I thought it would be nice to have an actual bar because they do have some different lot requirements than, for example, a nightclub. I believe you need to put in some TVs and stuff. So I quite like that idea of, you know, this being like a low-key kind of place where you just would kind of go to hang out after, you know, on a Friday afternoon after work and just watch the game with some friends or something. So that's kind of the look and feel that I was going for. Again, for the exterior, I wanted to make sure that it blends in really nicely with the rest of Newcrest and Willow Creek. And I'm going for this sort of Creole, French Quarter, New Orleans style. So just so you're aware, of course, I've built 100 of these types of buildings, but this one is quite different. I decided to make an additional entrance on the second floor and one on the bottom floor as well. So downstairs you kind of have the TV and games area. There's also a bar there, and then upstairs you have mainly just some seating, another bar as well, and I guess that's where you would kind of go to have a quick bite or something, and then downstairs you would go to play some games or watch the game, so it's a bit more casual, I suppose. So yeah, that's kind of the layout that I went for. As you can see, I have also built a third floor as well as like an additional sort of townhouse there on the left. The townhouse on the left is actually completely empty. I blacked it out as much as I could. And what I mean by that is actually just putting in black wallpaper and black flooring, and sort of blacking it out with black curtains so it wouldn't be too distracting. And those features are mainly there just to kind of decorate the exterior, make it look more like intentional, I guess, or that maybe that's not the right word, but make it look like it's part of this sort of street, which I really wish that we could, you know, build actual sort of townhouses that function normally. But we can't in The Sims 4, but I wanted to make this street look very cohesive, like there were just like a bunch of buildings in a row very close together. The fact that I couldn't actually build this bar right next to the library, you can see right now on the right side, that really bothered me. I used a lot of, you know, flooring, but there's still like that piece of grass in the middle, which is really annoying, but I guess just kind of have to deal with it. I mean, this is The Sims after all. So yeah, just so you're aware. But you know, basically that townhouse on the left is just there for decoration. It's not functional. I guess your Sims technically can walk in there. Maybe I should have put something in front of the door to kind of block it off, but I didn't. I guess I just forgot. But yeah, there isn't anything there, so you know, Sims will not really go there because there's no need to, basically. So yeah, this is just putting like the final decorations for the exterior. The exterior actually came together quite quickly. I suppose that's because I've built this style of, you know, building so many times now that I can basically do it with my eyes closed almost. So yeah, but I do quite like how it came together. I guess this building looks more like a regular house rather than a community lot, so I really needed to put some additional decorations such as the seating and the signs and stuff to make it look more like a commercial build. And also I ended up changing the downstairs door for the get to work door, which is also looking more like sort of, you know, community lot type door, like a store door or something like that, and I felt like that fits in a lot better. So yeah, what else is new for you guys? I think I mentioned, yeah, I definitely did mention this in my last video. Like I have just returned from a little city trip. We went to London, my boyfriend and I, and we had such a great time. Unfortunately, my phone got stolen. Like it just got stolen from my coat pocket. Basically, I didn't even realize it happened until it was gone. I mean, I guess a classic London moment. But you know, it's very inconvenient obviously when that happens, but I wasn't going to let my holiday be ruined by it. But just as a little tip to be mindful if you plan to do a city trip, especially to London, or any city for that matter, to be very vigilant with your valuables. A little lesson that I kind of learned the hard way, but apparently it does happen a lot in London. Actually, the funny thing is, like, I called up my phone provider a couple of days ago because I had to order a new SIM card, obviously. And the lady that I spoke to, she actually said to me that the exact same thing happened to her in London as well. So yeah, it happens very, very often. So just be aware if you are planning a little city trip soon to be mindful of stuff like that. But furthermore, we had a great weekend. It's a wonderful city. I can definitely still recommend going there. It's very, very expensive, so that's something to be mindful of, but it is a beautiful, beautiful city. And I wish I could return someday. Maybe we will in the future. And also we went on Monday, we went to the Star Wars celebration, which was a lot of fun. Although I guess in hindsight, we probably wouldn't have paid for the tickets because the tickets were quite expensive, and basically there wasn't a whole lot to do on Monday. Like all the major announcements and guests on stage, they were on the Saturday and the Sunday, so we missed those, but you know, the tickets were still kind of the same price. So but it was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of people in cosplay. We took a couple of photos with them, and we had a great morning basically. So yeah, that's what's up with me. So as you can see, we've now moved into the interior of this build, and this is the upstairs area, which I just mentioned is more like a sort of dining area, I guess. Obviously, there's a bar here as well. Just one thing that I want to quickly point out, I put a bunch of sofas against the wall. Unfortunately, they're not functional, and I was so annoyed when I went to playtest this build to figure out that those sofas were not functional. Apparently, to make those sofas actually functional is you need them to be free on both sides. So in the end, I did change it up. So the version on the gallery is completely functional, but it looks a bit different. So basically what I did is I removed the middle sofa and kind of moved them inwards. And then instead of a sofa, I put just a two-seater table in the middle, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, you also cannot see in the screenshots because I took screenshots of the build as it, you know, before play testing it actually, because I was convinced that this should just work, and I should have known because I've been having issues with those sofas for as long as The Sims Dine Out has been out, and I don't understand, like, it really frustrates me. I don't understand why they work the way that they do, because why would you make such a lovely sofa and not be able to kind of make a long sofa wall? You know how you go to like restaurants or bars or whatever, like a lot of places they have these sofa walls, or for example like an American diner, how you have like those like red booths, so the sofas are kind of back to back, if that makes sense. I tried doing that in The Sims before, and that also doesn't work because you really need to have the sofa accessible from both sides. If the sofa isn't accessible from both sides, it just doesn't function at all, which is really, really frustrating. But yeah, in the end, I did fix it. You can sit on the sofas, but unfortunately, I couldn't keep the sort of long sofa. I had to break them up in the middle and put just like a normal two-seater table right there, to make sure that the sofa basically was accessible from both sides. But just so you're aware of that. And this little area is just the bathrooms. I always opt for, you know, gender neutral bathrooms in my builds, just because it's a lot more it's just a lot nicer. It's a lot more handy, especially for gameplay, that you don't have to check the door if your sim is like going to the correct bathroom or whatever. I prefer to just set it up like this. Yeah, I guess after this we will be moving on to the downstairs. I did struggle a lot actually building the downstairs because I just couldn't really figure out how I wanted to lay out the floor plan. You'll see me twisting and turning the camera around a lot, just because I really wasn't sure what to do. Like, I wanted to include so many different sort of activities here because I thought that would be nice for gameplay. You can see like the random tables. I put them in like random spots right now. Just kind of drag them out from the catalog to kind of remind myself of which items I want to use later on in the build. So they won't stay in that place. Don't worry. But I ended up not using those game tables, unfortunately, just because I couldn't fit them in. So here you can see me just twisting and turning around a lot, just trying out different sort of layouts. I did really like putting the bar in this corner because it makes sense. I put like a little I guess staff door on the right side, and then that little 3x3 room you're looking at right now, that's just like sort of a storage staff room. Like, there isn't anything there, there's not much to do there, but I thought it would be, you know, kind of realistic to have it in a build like this. Also, those game tables don't stay there, unfortunately. I wanted to kind of include like a wall with multiple TVs. You know, sometimes when you go to a sports bar, how they have like multiple TVs, like either behind the bar or anywhere basically, where they would kind of have different games on, maybe like different games of football or like whatever it is you watch in America, I'm not sure. Yeah, I wanted to do that. I couldn't really figure out where to put them. And also initially I put really expensive TVs there, but I do end up changing them for the I believe they're get to work TV, sort of the smaller ones that stick out from the wall a bit further. Like, I don't necessarily like them because they stick out from the wall that far. But I felt like they looked, you know, more realistic for a place like this, I guess. So in here you see me doing the exact same thing again with the sofas, which I figured out wasn't functional at all. So I also had to change it in the exact same way I changed it upstairs. But yeah, I think the piano doesn't even stay there. Or maybe the piano does stay there. Like, I changed it up so many times. Like, I really wasn't sure how to lay this out, but I think in the end I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I feel like it's a very useful lot to just kind of take your Sims here, maybe like on a date, or just to kind of play some games and stuff. I think that would be very cute. I used a lot of Get Together in here actually, because Get Together came with, I believe they came with that foosball table and with the darts board. So I used a lot of stuff like that. And also in terms of the like interior aesthetic, I kind of went more for, I suppose, a like oldie European like brown pub kind of a feel. So that was kind of the aesthetic that I was going for. So I guess the packs that fit that the best would be Get Together and probably Cottage Living. And also some university actually, because that also has like a very strong British influence. So I wanted to use that stuff in here mainly. And also that brown wallpaper is actually from vampires. I used quite a bit of vampires in here as well, because they, you know, really also have that oldie Victorian sort of look and feel. And I rarely actually use that wallpaper, and I'm not sure why, because I actually love it so much. So I really should make an effort to try and use that wallpaper a lot more. And also I really enjoyed making these sort of gallery walls. I feel like that's very common in pubs and bars and stuff, to have, you know, lots of different random knickknacks on the wall. It makes it just very cozy. Maybe it also, I suppose it could also help with the acoustics a bit. So yeah, and also make sure to put like a pride flag on, because, you know, we want this to be an inclusive bar. That I thought that would be very important as well, that everyone would feel welcome in a bar like this. So yeah, I guess we're actually coming near the end of this video right now. Let me just quickly check. Oh no, we have like a minute left or so. Yeah, I'm just kind of working on the final details. There really isn't that much left to do, like except for maybe decorating that staff room, but there isn't anything there, to be completely honest with you, just some storage. So here we go. So anyway, guys, I guess I'm going to leave this voiceover right here. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by leaving a comment down below, or feel free to subscribe. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!